Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and I am so excited that you're here with us tonight. I want to thank you for wherever you're joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, tonight, we have a very special guest, Denise Monge. But before I introduce her, we also have a special visitor with us, and she has some super exciting news to share with us and a little adventure to tell us about that I think you might be able to go along with her on. So, hello, Lori, welcome.
Oh, hi, everyone. Hi, Sheila. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
So
Yeah, I'll just share a little bit about what's going on. So I hold retreats all over the globe, and Sheila's asked me to come on and just share a little bit about where we're going in these next upcoming months. So if you're seeking inspiration and direction, and this might just be the thing for you. In August, mid-August, we are doing the Mystery and Magical Sacred England, Avalon. We will be going to portals, uncovering ancient wisdom that's held in the sacred places of Avalon. We'll be visiting and feeling the ley lines of Michael, and checking out what the Holy Grail is all about, King Arthur, Merlin's Cave, crop circles. We're going to go to crop circles and feel what are they talking to us about, because we have this great mystery. They show up, but we want to know, what are they communicating? And so as a receptor and interpreter of energy, I have the capability of reading whatever it is that needs to be read energetically. So crop circles included, and Stonehenge. So a lot in from August 14th to August 19th. And then there's about a day and a half in between, and we puddle jump over to south of France. You can do one or both if you like. And so that's the Magdalene Gateway, the path of enlightenment. And I don't know about anyone else, but I know the divine feminine has been speaking to me really loud, and I can't avoid it. It's enlivening what's going on inside of me in all of the globe. And so through going to listen to Mary Magdalene and Sophia, the history of Sophia, we're going to find out what she has to share. What are some of the hidden wisdom that she wants to share with us? Help open us deeper to that divine feminine, and help bring about the world into the light of this beautiful experience and the direction in which we really need to go. And beside that, we'll be going to medieval Carcassonne. We will be going to her crypt, Mary Magdalene's crypt. We'll be exploring the Black Madonna and the Cathars, who kept the information of what she and Yeshua spoke about when he was here. And Lourdes also, which is a very, very sacred and special place. So a lot to be held in those days. That's August 21 through 29. And then there's a little bit of a break, October 13 through 16. We're up in Mount Shasta for 4 days, and that's Gateway to the Gods. That's a great, amazing experience. So we'll be going to several of the vortices there. We'll be visiting a pyramid that's up there, which is crazy, amazing energy this place has, and doing some shamanic journeys, meditations. We're actually going to spend a day with a gentleman who has carved crystal skulls, and he's going to teach us all about them. We're going to work with them. These are very powerful skulls, and I was really intrigued by them. So I added him into our retreat. So I'm looking forward to that. and working with the crystal grid and intention. So, and we'll be there during the solar eclipse. So that's what we've got on the agenda coming up in these next few months. And I'm super excited because for myself, I know there's going to be a lot of opening and a lot of growth in this. And I hope it is that way for everyone else too that wants to come along.
That's beautiful. Now, can you tell people how to find you if they're interested?
Sure. So you can go to wellnesswithin.net /tours. And you'll find on my website, there's a whole page with all the different tours that are coming up. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here and letting everybody know. Hope you'll be able to join us. So stick around. Denise has some exciting info to share with us. But Bridget, are you back? I don't know if Bridget's back. Bridget has started a new community I wanted her to tell you about. But real quickly, I want to tell you about something coming up. We have Inca shamanic practices. Kiara Windrider will be at the office in Eagle Vale here in Colorado. We're also going to Zoom the meeting as well. So if you can't join us in person, I was trying to eat my paper. If you can't join us in person, please be sure to join us on Zoom. But he is going to work with the practices to open the doorways between the upper and the lower world, alchemical practices to transform energetic blockages. He's going to create a bridge between the subconscious and the superconscious levels of mind. And it just goes on and on. And when he was here last month, the people that worked with him were literally blown away. So again, he's going to be here August the 11th, 12th and 13th. On the 11th, we start in the afternoon. I think we start around 5 and we go to 9. And then on Saturday, we start at 1 and go to 9. And on Sunday, then it's all day. So that's at the Eagle Vale office here in Colorado. So come on down and join us. And if you can't do that and you want to participate, you can also join by Zoom. So also, if you go to my website, SheilaSeppi.com, you'll see that next month I have training coming up for the soul reconnection technique. And that's the technique that was given to me and initially started out with the Arcturians, and then it was actually joined and more information came in from the Angelics and also from the Andromedas. So if you're interested in that type of healing, check that out, SheilaSeppi.com. Bridget, are you back? Okay, well, she has a lot. Oh, good. Good. Hey, you want to tell everybody about your new network?
I would love to. We are Ascension Catalysts. You can find it. I believe every single one of us are Ascension Catalysts, just through our beingness and everything we're doing in service in the world. And we have a community that is brand new. It is already amazing. I'm so thrilled. We're a unity consciousness community, right? And our deep purpose is to connect deeply so that everyone really is able to receive support and be uplifted and share their experiences whenever, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But we also have a huge component to the community that is collaboration for being of service in the world, and lots of events and other amazing things as well. So if you guys are interested in this at all, feel free to go to ascensioncatalyst.com, and we would love to have you join our beautiful star family.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. And Bridget always broadcasts us out every Thursday night out to her community. So through Clubhouse. So again, Bridget, thank you always so much for doing that. I really, really appreciate it. Now, I want to go ahead without any further ado and chit chat here. I want to go ahead and bring up our guest, Denise Monge. And I want to tell you a little bit about Denise because she's a dog trainer. I think I need that. A pet intuitive. She works with pet numerology, and she's the founder of Pet Prana. Now, Denise believes that everyday interactions with our pets have the power to transform us. And her work combines traditional obedience training with energetic considerations of the pet guardianship to facilitate meaningful connections and behavioral shifts for both you and your pets. Think of it as a self-help for pet certified sake. So tonight she's going to help us to dig deep into our pets, into their roles that they play in helping us to unleash our soul's potential. And she's going to talk to us about everyday interaction with our beloved pets and even the animals in the wild. So sit back as she helps us to uncover our truest selves as catalysts for personal growth, healing, spiritual awakening. And tonight she's also going to do a few readings for us. So everybody go grab your little fur babies and sit back and enjoy tonight. And I want to go ahead now and to bring up Denise. So Denise, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for being our speaker tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's so much fun to see not only little pets' heads popping up on camera, that always happens when, the soul pack like this one gets together, but what beautiful efforts, initiatives, and plans everyone's putting into the world. I love so much. Every time I hear Merlin, it reminds me so much of this one pet I worked with. And there was this cat, and his name was Merlin. And pet numerology came through my life in really powerful ways, and it never ceases to amaze me how much as pet parents we give our pets the perfect name because they truly embody what they're here to help us with. And so this little cat Merlin was such a character. His mom reached out to me because Merlin was having a lot of accidents in the bedroom in a very specific spot in her boyfriend's side of the bed. And so, as we did a reading and we went deeper, it was so beautiful because, the cat's mom had reached out and, she kind of led on that she had been dating this guy. And, she had been a woman who focused on her career, like so many of us. And, this guy seemed nice enough. He seemed okay. She was looking to start a family. She just wanted to kind of get on with the kind of getting married, having babies process. So she was in a little bit of that mindset of settling. And so Merlin was having none of it, right? He was having accidents right in that side of the bed. And anytime our animal companions are having accidents, it's a very good indication for us to really look at the world and see beyond immediate appearances, right? What do you want to face that maybe you didn't want to see? Sometimes we don't always want to see the truth in every situation for all of its, gory detail. And so that name Merlin was so perfect because, Merlin and Avalon, it always brings us back to Guinevere, right? And Guinevere had to choose. She had that, quintessential choice of choosing between her heart, Lancelot, and her mind, Arthur, that sense of duty, what she should do. And so Merlin the cat was kind of showing how, he started off by showing her in this beautiful outfit like Guinevere. And he was telling her, it's time for you to choose between your heart and your mind. Your mind might be telling you, you have no choice. You got to settle down with this guy. But your heart knows that's not the right thing to do. So the second she kind of, ended that relationship and cleaned it up, those accidents stopped immediately. So I loved how Lori was talking about, going and checking out, the area where Avalon was, meant to be, and bringing up those magical characters and archetypes, which our pets leverage when they communicate with us. And so, yeah, I can, perfect. I was going to hand it over to you, Sheila, to see where you want to take the conversation.
Okay. Yeah. I am just so curious about how the pets are able to intuit what's going on in our lives. And now I know you told me about a program that you had developed. And in that program, you're able to check the chakras and see how they align and how they're reflecting one another's, whether it's their anxieties or their desires, or like in Merlin's case, kind of giving her a heads up, like, hey, go ahead, pay attention to me. So if you could share a little bit about how that process works, I would love to share that with everybody.
Absolutely. And this is really the perfect community to talk about, the whole process and how it came to be, because there is a very galactic and cosmic slant to it. But, I'll take a step back just so you guys get a little bit of context. I'm the last person in the world who you would think would be working with pets or a dog trainer. Growing up, I was never allowed to have pets. I grew up in São Paulo, Brazil, which is like New York City. So it's apartment living. My family was like, no pets. We don't have room for that. But I always had a huge heart and was very connected to animals. Like I'm sure so many of us are here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be tuning in on tonight's topic. And so, in retrospect, it was really interesting because not having a traditional pet like a dog or a cat really showed me the value of connecting in with every little being, and how every little being has stories to share, companionship to offer. I would bring the doodle bugs up to my apartment, the caterpillars, which in Brazil, by the way, are incredibly poisonous, but I didn't know. They'd be like crawling all over me. So, growing up, I didn't really have that traditional experience with pets, but I was very intuitive and very empathic with the animals, like so many of us are. And so, as many of us did, in our day, we get older, we kind of shut down that psychic ability that we had because no one's there to really explain what it's all about. And, I followed a very traditional career and I went into advertising. And, after a decade in advertising, I finally left. My body was giving out, my thyroid was acting up. It's crazy hours working in New York City, but one of my last accounts was Purina. So when I decided it was time to leave advertising altogether, I remembered how much I loved talking about pets, the relationship of humans with pets, and what that dynamic, and hearing focus groups where people are going on and on about their pets. And it brought so much joy to my heart. So when I left advertising, I figured, I definitely want to work with pets. I'm in New York City. I might as well start a doggy daycare, because what do people need more in New York other than a place to put their pets while they're working these crazy hours? And since I never had a dog or a traditional pet of my own, I was like, I should probably learn a little something about pet behavior. So I went through a dog training certification program. And, through it, part of the process was doing practicum hours, one-on-one with clients and their pets and practicing. And I said, forget the brick and mortar. I love working one-on-one with pets and their humans. And so, I went through the process of, teaching dogs to sit, to stay, all that kind of thing. And several times I was like, this just doesn't feel right. It feels like there's got to be something more we can do to honor our relationship with our pets. Just bossing them around is not interesting to me. And so that's around the time where animal communication started kind of coming back. I would walk into a session with a client and I would sit down and I would just know a lot of things about what was going on in the household, what was going on in the client, and they'd just be kind of dripping this information in. And so I started opening up a bit more and realizing that, it's kind of interesting. Every time I work with a dog with on-leash reactivity, they're barking, they're lunging on leash. There's a lot of patterns going on with the humans. Either they're between jobs or they're grounded in their relationship. And so this was all percolating, and cut to, a few months later, it was the March equinox. And I believe it was 2015 or 2016. 3 days before leading up to that equinox, I was knocked out. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so tired. I was just sleeping. On the morning of the equinox, I woke up at like 7 a.m., hopped right out of bed, grabbed my laptop, and just downloaded this whole process called Translating Beyond Behavior, where later I came to find out it was the Pleiadians working with me, downloading this whole framework about how our animals' behaviors mirror what's going on in our chakras and the different themes and patterns and habits and energies that we need to work on to not only shift our pets' behavior, but ours as well, right? Because as pet parents, and conscious pet parents at that, everybody here knows our animal companions pick up on our energy, or they reflect back different patterns to us so that we can better understand it and grow alongside our pets. It's never about our pet's behavior being something isolated or removed from us. There's always something we can garner from that. So yeah, through this beautiful connection with the Pleiadians, they downloaded this whole framework. And with each of the 7 major chakras, we've assigned different pet behaviors to them, so that if your dog is barking at you, we know that we want to look at the first chakra, at least as a starting point. If your dog has separation anxiety, we want to look at those issues and themes around the second chakra, that myth of separation, that boundaries, finding the balance between our needs and other people's needs. If our dog is barking and having, jumping on us and kind of barking for attention and having unwanted behaviors in that way, let's look at our third chakra. Where are we not stepping into our power? Where are we not, fulfilling the creative projects that we want to do because either we want to stay small or maybe we're very critical of ourselves? The fourth chakra is associated with guest reactivity. Who are we letting into our space, into our heart, into our energy, that perhaps we shouldn't be, and so forth and so on. And I'm sure we can go on a bit more about, the behaviors and the chakras, but that's kind of the template that has been such a helpful point for us to energetically grow and collaborate along with our animal companions.
That's amazing. So just in this little bit talking with you, it's like, okay, well, Willow sleeps all day when I'm sitting here working. Then I get excited and everybody's coming on and we're all excited. So of course he's excited. So he's just reflecting back. Now he's all calm now that we've gotten started. So yeah, I can see exactly how that works.
And one thing that also comes through with Willow, because, one thing that I'm really passionate about, and it kind of evolved, along the process of working with pets and their humans, is pet numerology. I pull the numerology of a pet's name and I match it up to the human's name, and we see, what are the motivations and tendencies of each? What are the same patterns that we have? What lessons do we lack that our pet has in their name that we're working on together? And one thing about Willow is Willow has, with those double L's in his name, that 33/6 master vibration. And in numerology, it's known as the cosmic parent. And given your beautiful experience and all the energy you hold, Sheila, Willow also, especially before these calls, is holding the space and welcoming in, almost like the usher at the theater who welcomes you in and finds your seat. He's welcoming in the galactic energy that's supporting us in these conversations. So Willow feels like he has a job to do kind of energetically with the unseen energy, kind of having him usher in, you go here, you go there. So there's this huge celebration and welcoming energy that he brings.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I know he's a little Syrian soul, but that's always great to hear a little bit about his life's purpose. So I bet there's a lot of other people out there that want to hear about their pets. I see Sherry has hers, and I know Janelle has her fur babies with her all the time. Carrie, I don't know if you have a little baby there on your lap. Who else brought their babies? I don't know, but does anyone want to volunteer to come forward and to share a little bit about their baby and let Denise kind of give you a read? Susie's got her hand up right there. Hey, Suze.
Hi. My little puppy Chewbacca is 13 years old. And the vet told me he's on his way to the Rainbow Bridge soon. And I worked with Sheila, what's her name? That was in the San Diego thing that works with pets. I forget her name. But anyway,
Lori.
Lori.
Yeah.
And so she gave me some extra meds, and so I already had. Everything's organic, and he's doing better. I had to put my kitty down a little while ago. I've never done this, so it's just real hard. I have dreamed that Chewbacca 4 times was a little boy with turquoise eyes, because I didn't have kids this time around, and he's just such a comfort to me. And Kitty, once we did the deed, I've never done that. She was 18 pounds, and then she got to 4 pounds and 7 ounces. And once I kept asking her guides and her angels to talk to me, and then because I knew she was going to be gone soon, and I had a dream that morning and there was this big blue avian energy field, and she said, "This is who I am when I'm not your kitty, and I can go now." So yeah, and she's been with me. I feel her. She's young again. Our pets are so magic, and this talk is so magic, and hopefully I don't keep getting kicked off the internet. It's like 120 degrees here, but I love you. I love this talk. I love my babies, and wow, are they important to us.
Susie, thank you for sharing that. And just one question, I know I should know this, but Chewbacca, how do you spell that? Is it AKA?
It's CHUBACCA.
CHUBACCA. Oh, I'm glad I asked. That is not how I spelt it. Okay, perfect.
And he's so precious. I mean, I got a little thing he's broken his right hip and then his left hip, and now that he's getting older, I got this little sling to hold up his little butt and make sure that his little pee-pee isn't stuck in. I mean, it's just, but I love him so much. I just want to do the right thing when and stuff like that. So give me what you got, girl. You are so cool, Denise.
Thank you for sharing this. It's really interesting. There's such big energy. Especially since, I don't know if you guys sense this, but the beginning of July of this, oh my goodness, it's just, gateway after portal after energy, and even things that I haven't experienced in a long time, migraines, crown chakra opening wide open. It seems to be up, we're in big energy. And the reason I bring that up is when we have these big energetic waves, a lot of animal companions tend to ride that wave and transition and go to the other side. Yeah. And especially toward the August 8th portal, for some reason, August 8th, I always see a huge exit of animal companions around that time. And so I say that because I want to thank you for sharing your experience. I know personally a lot of my clients are going through something similar, whether they've said goodbye or in their process or they're thinking about it because things seem to be changing, in the physical form for their animal companions. So thank you for sharing it. And thank you for sharing your tears, because no matter when that happens, it still is raw for us. And part of that experience is because this is one of our biggest human gifts and one of the biggest human challenges is when we are, floating in different planetary experiences as different cosmic bodies, we experience oneness all the time. So we don't have the experience of projecting all our love, our affection, and receiving it back in physical form the way we do as humans with our animal companions. So it's the biggest blessing, and it's also the biggest challenge when we feel, even though we know the energy never leaves us, we miss their physical little bodies. One thing that is so beautiful about the energy for you, Chewbacca and Kitty, is just looking at your names and the numerology of your names, there's big energy, there's amplified energy, there's repeated numbers over and over. And between your name, Chewbacca's name, and Kitty's name, you have every master vibration. There's 11, 22, and 33. Wow. So we know that this is a divine connection, a divine trinity is what I keep hearing. And just, this beautiful soul experience of, let's see what this is all about with the separation and coming back. Part of what both Chewbacca and Kitty want you to know is the three of you have been in many lifetimes together in different forms and different iterations. So this was just a new experience. It just happened to be more painful in the actual, happening of it than we expected or anticipated, but we get to learn from that. Chewbacca holds the 11 vibration. So that's going to be about psychic communication. That's going to be about downloading messages. And he also holds within his name the same number as Willow, that 33/6 energy. So Chewbacca holds in that cosmic energy, which is perfect. You named him Chewbacca. You could not have picked a better name, right? Star Wars through and through. Kitty holds within her name also the 11 master vibration. So both of your pets start with that 11 master vibration energy. So the psychic connection, the past lives, the, helping you download, that is what they're here to do first and foremost. But then Kitty holds the 22/4. And so it's beautiful that you said she was down to 4 pounds, because that 4 number is the number of the heart. She had basically let go. Her heart was the last thing that left, her heart connection to you. And then it just transmuted and changed into something else.
Yeah.
That's the message they want you to know, that
Kitty came to me I went up on a vision quest up to Mount Shasta, and she said, in this dream, she said, I get to come on your vision quest with you, but now you won't have to carry me, because I was going to get a little bag to carry her. But she was right there. I mean, they really do stick with us eternally. It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Thank you. One thing that's really interesting about your name, Susie, is you have that 66 vibration. And so 6 is the amplified number of motherhood, of family, of domestic issues. I like to think even of the drawing of the number 6 as a woman looking down at her pregnant belly. So you are a mother through and through to Chewbacca and to Kitty. And the other beautiful thing about 6 is that's the number I associate with the Venusians and that muse energy. So the fact that you play music, you are artistic, you let messages, notes, vibrations flow through you. It's just such a true testament that you, Chewbacca and Kitty, are each living out exactly the experience that was planned together.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Wow. I'll let somebody else have an opportunity. Thank you so much. So beautiful, Denise.
Thanks, honey. Thank you. All right, Karen, you're next on the screen. Karen in Canada. Hello.
Hello. So this is a subject near and dear to my heart. I had to say goodbye to a lovely 15-year-old dog just last week. And I always knew she had a huge presence, but I didn't know how big it was until she was gone. And so I'm down to one dog for the first time in many, many years. I went from a career in IT to a dairy farm in Quebec, and then I began breeding dogs, but in a very selective, ethical, and then spiritual way. So I was just curious if you had any words from Sandy. And also my last dog, her name is Garbo, Garbo, like Greta Garbo. I'm getting messages. Oh, I do. It's kind of odd when I know that an animal is leaving, I do something and I can only call it pre-grieving. In other words, I'm really feeling it as they're leaving. And then when they're actually gone, I don't have as much grief as one might expect because I've done so much of it on the way to the moment, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'll shut up now.
No, Karen, that is so beautiful. And thank you again. And we're sorry that you have to say Garbo's the pet that you had to say goodbye to.
No. I said goodbye to Sandy.
Sandy, okay.
And Garbo is actually still here. Sandy was 15, Garbo is almost 8.
And Sandy is with a Y at the end?
Sandy, right. And she was born in Switzerland and she came to me in Nova Scotia 15 years ago. And we had an amazing life together. Mm-hmm. And she had a few litters, but not that many. And then, you know, and I could, it was almost like I got a little bit of extra time with her. I thought she was leaving and I got a few more months and we lived it to the max. We went.
Karen, that's so beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And, you know, a few things jump out. One thing with Sandy's name, it's incredible because, you know, I pulled the numerology and the first thing that jumps out is with the S and the A and then the D and the Y. Whenever I see 2 1s side by side, that's 11. And whenever I see 4 7 or 8 and 3 or 9 and 2, that also is 11. So Sandy is bookended by those 11s, and in the middle is 15. And I love that number 15. It, to me, it's the energy of the Aries. I'm an Aries. So it's that, like, I know what I know. You can't tell me any different. I know who I am. I just know when messages come through, this is the way it goes. And with dogs, a lot of times on walks, it translates into like, nope, I'm not going that way. We're going this way. So that beautiful, like, knowing who she is at the core of who Sandy was. So everything was incredibly preordained. But one thing that both Sandy and Garbo are highlighting about you is in your name, it also starts with an 11, which I love. And then you have 95 and 55 in your name. So that 55 is amplified energy of the freedom loving adventurer in your case. And so the 95, when I see that number side by side, it's healer energy. It's like the Mother Teresa energy. So part of this grieving beforehand is this really beautiful, sacred, sometimes we use the word, shamanic energy. Sometimes we call it death doula. You have this beautiful sacred mission and ability in your soul to go through these sacred moments of saying goodbye, holding the space, experiencing it together, and then letting go. And it lets their soul go easily, quickly, beautifully, joyfully, in celebration, like the freedom loving adventurer, right? It's like, you're free, go. We'll still be connected, but enjoy the other side. And so, for you, having that ability to grieve together, go through that process with them, is part of that sacred doula, that death doula, that shamanic energy that you've done lifetimes, time and time again. You come through so clearly as kind of like tribal healer energy in past lives, just always dealing with the occult and those moments of transition and creating joyfulness and healing around them, rather than that sense of brokenness, separation, and desperation to hold on.
Thank you. That's perfect.
And I love that, right? I love how each of us call in the right animal companions to really complement our missions in life, who we are, what we're here to kind of unleash into the world, and collaborate with them to have those experiences. And I would imagine, Karen, that part of, working at a dairy farm, part of, all these experiences that you've had with alongside animals have helped them go through difficult situations in a similar way. So you're here to accompany them in those moments and together experience, go through it, and then release it in joy. So thank you for playing that role for animal companions, for humanity, for all of us, and kind of holding the space about what's possible as we evolve and start maybe even looking at the process of transitioning in a different way.
Thank you. She was such a joyful dog. I just want to drop this in that she loved going to the beach, so her name was perfect before I even realized how it was. And she loved fetching, so she would fetch and Garbo would chase her. So I gave Garbo a ball in her mouth so she wouldn't bother Sandy. Now Garbo at the age of 8 is learning how to fetch on her own, which is quite fascinating. But anyway, Sandy, when anybody else was at the beach, she would take her ball and not bring it to me. She would go and drop it at somebody else's feet. And I said to them, it's because she wants to share her joy with you. It's not because I'm not, throwing the ball. She has so much fun. She's like, come on, have some fun with me.
I love that. What a healing little pack. How joy, celebration, freedom loving, all that, the adventure, that just is such a thread throughout your pack. So that's beautiful.
And the confidence you described about her, she was so confident. She knew exactly what she was doing. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for sharing. I love that. So beautiful.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, Sherry. You have a question, a comment?
I just want to say, I love what you do. I also have a strong connection to animals, and I have a beautiful border collie who is more a galactic being from out of this world and he's been a previous dog before. I've gotten the joy of getting to experience him before. So I think what you do is great. His name is Indy. He's a border collie. He's 4.5.
And how do I spell Indy? I-E or with a Y?
Indi.
He is such a dragon.
He is such a dragon unicorn dog. It's so great.
I love that.
I heard you, Bridget.
Let me just look into that. So Sherry, the first thing that comes through that I just want to kind of acknowledge about your name is the 999 in the energy. Ooh, oh, there you went. It's like you moved. The 999 energy is just light, 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 soul purpose, soul purpose, soul purpose, really kind of stepping in and owning it. And just such beautiful old soul energy. And beautifully, what precedes the 999 is a 5. So you have that 59 energy. So whereas we talked about the 95 energy with that healer, the Mother Teresa putting healing out, the 59 is the empathic healer. 59, when I see those numbers together, it's when it's, you experience what's going on in the community, you pull it in and you filter it out almost like a Brita filter does with water, right? So you kind of translate a lot of higher vibrations, a lot of your old soul energy, your healing, you bring it in, and then what comes out is higher vibrational. So thank you for doing that. And then with Indy, he compliments you with the 95. So you've got the 59, he's got the 95 in his name. So it's such a beautiful, explanation of the yin and the yang you guys have together as healers. Together, you come together, you bring it in, he puts it out, he helps you put it out. And it's just this really beautiful symbiotic relationship. I also, maybe it is because I saw Indiana Jones last weekend, but Indy's, it's so fun, right? Indy's the archetype of the explorer, the adventurer, the pioneer, the courageous, brave, interested, that perfect combination of the intellectual and the believer with the practical, pragmatic masculinity. So, I mean, Indy just sounds absolutely amazing. And it's so beautiful that you're so tapped into him, because a lot of pet parents are intuitive and are animal communicators, but it's hard for us sometimes to tap into our own pets. But that's not the case with you. You've got this. You guys are just, you share a brain is what he says. It's like that whole joke, like if you eat something, he tastes it, and vice versa. So what a beautiful connection. Not the first, not the last. You guys are just like, two, I'm going to mess this up, but it's like the image he's showing is like covalent bonds. Like you're never going to split. You guys are just right there.
Yes, and how you said that he is an energy worker in himself, in a sense. When we're out in the world, he's my service dog, so he actually goes everywhere with me. And part of the reason why I named him Indy was because he's going to keep me adventurous in my disabilities. However, then I met all of these amazing people, and I'm not as bad as I once was, because it's about the mindset, right? And it's about moving forward. So I'm in a really great spot, but he will go up to people when he's not supposed to. And of course, right, he's my service dog, and he'll just lean against them. And I'm like, he's an energy worker. He's doing his job. And I let him have it. So thank you for that beautiful, beautiful, I don't know, share statement, everything that you said, because it feels so true. So thank you.
I love that. And, this is something that this group, right? This soul pack, this, I call myself a pet groupie, and I say everyone here is a pet groupie too. This is such a beautiful gathering, because what we're doing isn't something that a lot of people realize is important. We're bringing our animal companions into our spiritual work. And not only that, we're helping them reach self-actualization. A lot of times we talk about soul contracts, our pets helping us, but what we forget to factor in is that our animal companions are here to learn lessons, to fulfill their soul purpose, and to kind of check boxes. So then the next lifetime they can move on. So all of us here, by seeing our pets for who they truly are, inviting them into our work, allowing them to, like Sandy would drop the ball, to people to kind of interact with them and brighten their day, or Indy leaning up and doing the physical healing. By allowing that and acknowledging that that's part of their life purpose, we're helping them reach self-actualization and expand as little beings as well. So it's so much fun to be with this group and these folks who see pets for the huge potential that they hold, not only for us, but for themselves and, the collective as we all expand together.
Beautiful.
Somebody asked me recently, how do you help somebody that is grieving the loss of an animal? And I'm like, well, just like us humans, we have a time and a place and we have a purpose, and they do too. And they have a predetermined time and place when they come in, when they leave. I've had several dogs, as I said, because he's come back to me before. So I'm very fortunate. And the more that we allow them to be who they are meant to be, in the way you said, training them, guiding them, helping them understand who they are and who they are with us, really changes the dynamic. My niece is a professional dog trainer, also dog behavioralist. So I got a lot, we help each other out a lot. So it's great.
Yeah.
But keep doing what you're doing. Shine your light. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And one
Thank
thing that I think is important to share here, because, I think everybody here's incredibly intuitive, probably has their own different flavor of animal communication. Maybe they don't even realize they're doing animal communication because it comes so naturally. But, whether we're opening up to animals, to the plant kingdom, to the fairy realm, to the galactics, it's important for us to remember that we always have a choice. And the reason I say that is because when I started opening up to animal communication, two of my non-negotiables was, I don't want to deal with pets transitioning, and I don't want to deal with lost pets. Too sad, not into it, don't want it, won't open up if I have to deal with that. So I'm going to shut it down. And it's so beautiful how our guides, the animals, they'll protect us from them. And of course, as I got more comfortable with the animals and doing animal communication, intuitive readings, they started bringing in things slowly but surely in a safe space. My third non-negotiable was no humans that have died. I didn't want to see dead people, that whole thing. Slowly but surely in the readings, they'd ask, is it okay to bring them in? And then we would in that safe space. So, our animal companions also teach us how to set up boundaries, not only around ourselves in our physical world and with them as well, but also how to translate that into the energetic realm. Now, because I've been able to slowly but surely, open up to the process on my own time, now I love talking about, what it means when our animal companions transition. I'm not scared of those big emotions. But remember that if you're opening up to any aspect of your intuition, you can use the animals also to set up that boundary for you. Say, all right, Sandy and the energy, I don't want to connect with this, or Indy, block this energy coming in. They serve so many purposes, and they help us and play. They do anything that they can to help us expand and open our hearts.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. I think we have 5 people with their hands up. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to take any more tonight. But those of you that have your hands up that have been patiently waiting, let's go ahead and get ready to ask your questions and share your information. So, Carrie, hi.
Hi. I have 2 cats, Aria and River, and Aria is very obviously my grounding energy. River, I don't know. He's whiny, he's needy. All I do is clean up cat hair all the time. These are my first pets. I didn't grow up with pets, but I know they came to me for a certain reason at a certain time.
They did. So here is the beautiful thing about Carrie and River. I'm going to focus on you guys because Aria, I think you've got it covered, right? So Carrie, your name is, 3-1, but it's 9995, right? River's name is 9945, which equals 99. So you guys have a lot more similarity than you give yourselves, than you might give him credit for, right? This whole notion of I'm cleaning up his hair, he's constantly, acting a certain way. He is all sensitive, all taking in energy all the time, and he filters it through his heart. And so part of what happens is he starts, there's energetic debris that comes off that's actually manifesting as hair coming off, the physical how'd you say, loss, right? So what he's kind of mirroring and showing for you is that you do so much spiritual work in your day to day that you don't even realize, but it's almost like you're losing feathers. Like if you had an angel wing, your feathers are falling off because you're not caring enough for you. You're not strengthening the roots of who you are, what you need, and nourishing yourself. So what River is showing is he will feel a lot better if you spend time with him, asking him to heal you. Because he wants to heal you, work with you, help regenerate some of the energy that goes, which you're used to sending off. So you probably don't even feel depleted in that way because you've been doing this from day one. You're a healer, you work, the energy happens, you just do it. River's showing to you that you need to come to him, even to Ari as well, but have a healing session once a day, twice a day, whatever you can manage, even if it's a few minutes. It's going to help him replenish you even at that root, kind of like he's showing like at the root of the hair, sort of like, how we don't realize there's anything going on with our scalp or our hair or our hair root that's in the scalp until it falls out. He wants to work with you at that scalp level. That's the metaphor. But that's going to help him feel needed, wanted, and it's going to help heal you because he's worried about some stuff going on the cellular structure with you. And I'm not a medical intuitive, but he just says you could use a little shine, a little shimmer, a little more light infused because you give so much away.
Thank you. Makes a lot of sense.
Beautiful, but thank you, and such beautiful energy with the double nines and the double fours in your name, your last name. So thank you.
And they have quite a large following on Instagram. There's a
How
lot of
cool.
cat lovers out there, so I'll have to promote you on there.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. I love that. I love it. Social media is one of those things where it can be, I hopped on my sister's feed and hers is all like, moms who have it all and that kind of thing. And, models and plastic surgery. And after like 5 minutes on that feed, I was like, oh my God, first of all, I am a horrible monster. I need plastic surgery. I'm not doing enough in my day. And then I went on my social media feed and it's all animals. And oh my gosh, the joy that it brings. So it's such a beautiful reminder of, animals are bringing us so much joy on social media. So if you have an account or you follow those accounts, share them broadly because it does change the energy, and social media doesn't have to be that heavy thing that for some people it is. We get to choose what to share, and when we share joy, that's such a beautiful way to spread it to others.
Beautiful. I accidentally lowered someone's hand. They were actually next. I went to lower Carrie's, but accidentally lowered someone else. Can you go ahead and Mary? Okay, I think Mary was next, and then Janelle. All right. So Mary, sorry about that.
All right.
Okay. So
Hi.
let's go ahead and bring you up and let's share your pet.
Hello. Oh, great. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Just I have my current kitty, Mia, who's she's a rescue kitty that I adopted about, let's see, well, almost nearly 9 months to a year almost after my previous kitty, Kaching, had passed, and which was just devastating to me. And but interestingly, I don't know, she actually was born just a little bit before he passed, and was in a foster situation until I adopted her. She was super, super shy. She had been rescued off the street with her siblings. And anyway, though, I kind of felt drawn to even her photo, and I'm so attached and close with my kitty Kaching. I don't know. I feel like, is there a connection? What's the connection of each of them with me or between us? Or is there a connection between them?
So here's the most beautiful thing that came through, which is so beautiful. Okay, so Kaching's energy was different from Mia's. So they're not necessarily like reincarnated, or anything like that. But what they are is, a lot of times our animal companions will share this term, they're part of the same soul litter. So, they have some, they're from like the same kind of nebulous energy. And then, Kaching came and then Mia came. So they have some similarities and they have some connection. Kaching's role with you was to help you see yourself through her eyes, so you would fall back in love with your vulnerable parts. So you would fall back in love in who you are when you're the most open-hearted and someone's receiving that. A lot of healing, a lot of wounding, especially from like childhood wounds around being vulnerable and maybe not received when you were vulnerable. So Kaching helped you fall in love with that. And the reason that's so beautiful, and the reason why Mia is such a love for you, is your name has the 419 with a 7, and then Mia's 491. So what you fell in love with Mia is what finally you were able to love in yourself. So that notion that she was a rescue, that she needed saving, that she needed loving, that she deserved saving, she deserved love, she deserves everything in the world, that she's beautiful, she's not broken, she's beautiful. That is a direct reflection of the work that Kaching did with you to heal those vulnerable parts in you. So it's kind of this full circle moment. And it's interesting because the way that I'm experiencing it is so much a feeling and emotion, overjoyed, compassion, love, excitement, joy, that it's even hard to put words on. But that is what it is. Kaching helped you fall in love with those parts of you, and then you were able to love them through Mia.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's they were definitely two very different energies, but I love them both so much. And but yeah, with Mia, it was interesting how when I decided to adopt her, I was not quite sure when I just for various reasons, I wasn't, 100%, but when I first met her, but I thought that I would, but she reacted so positively for her because she was so shy. They said, well, we really think she's your kitty. No pressure. But it was very sweet. So, but yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that story. And wow, beautiful energy. I just can feel it. I can feel it better than I can articulate it. So thank you for sharing that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hey, Janelle. Come on up, darling. Yeah, you're on mute.
There we go. Denise, I just have to say you have such a precious gift. Thank you for taking this time to share with us this evening, and all of us, I'm sure, enjoying what you have to say as much as I am. Such a blessing. So thank you. And thank you, Sheila, for inviting Denise. So I lost a kitty and a puppy within 1 month of each other on the 13th day of the month, right before the lockdown and everything. So I found myself alone that whole winter. So now I have a kitty who I rescued when her daddy, my boyfriend, passed away suddenly. I found her up at the shelter. His mother told me that she was there. So she came home. Her name is Chazzy. And I just love that what you said about Denise with her kitty healing her and that shedding bit. She has started this last year sleeping on my head at night, and she plays with my hair all night. I wake up with this interesting thing, but I feel that energy that she's just working with me while I'm sleeping. And she's just been precious to have. And then I wasn't going to get another dog because I wanted to do some traveling and such. But sitting at home, working by myself from home for those months, persuaded me to rescue this puppy who is Angus. He's had a long day at daycare. He's a kind of a pity collie boxer mix who came from a homeless fellow's grocery cart in a Walmart lot in Texas with his two brothers. And he does these things that are so much like that dog, my girl Sasha, who passed away. He sits with his little rump on the stair with his feet down below all the time, which she used to do. He has all these behaviors that are like her. And so I just kind of almost feel like I got parts of her back. He's my first boy dog, and he's just absolutely sweet and so kind and such a generous joy in my life. So these are my kids. I don't have a specific question, but I'm just introducing them.
No, they
And
are.
I'd love to hear what you have to say about our situation, because it has always been, very much like we are here for a reason together doing the work that we do. So.
Yeah. And so they've been talking up a storm. So a few things pop through first and foremost. First of all, your smile is just so beautiful. It's magnetic, people are talking throughout and it's just like, boom, there's Janelle, boom, there's Janelle. It's just, you have this really beautiful energy that you're just smile, you're open-hearted, and it translates. So that's kind of one thing that they just want to say, just biggest heart, biggest energy, just, all light vibes, very sparkly. Your name is so interesting. It starts with that 1-5, which we talked about, that the knowing, right? Knowing who you are, knowing what's going on. And then it's 5-5-5. So it's amplified 5 energy, 33, which is that cosmic master vibration, followed by a 5. So one thing that they were talking about, as you were discussing your boyfriend, the other pets who transitioned as well, and just a lot of what was going on in your life, is part of what you're here to do on Earth is to work through some of the loss that you experienced when you were galactic energy. And what they're talking about in particular, and I don't know, Sheila might be better to kind of share about this. This is not my area of expertise, but something where you were part of, it feels like Pleiadian energy, and there was loss of planets or something happened, and there's loss after loss after loss. So when you came back here, you wanted to learn about what true separation, or the illusion of true separation, is, so that you can kind of wrap your head around that wasn't truly loss, because loss doesn't exist. So part of the experience that you went through here with those losses was your modus operandi. That's like, okay, this is a lesson that we're learning. This is a lesson we're learning. So your cat, who's working with your crown chakra, is helping you shift, because when you focus on that lesson on a soul level, as this Pleiadian memory that you hold, you keep manifesting it, because you're such a powerful manifester. So your cat's kind of working on that to be like, yeah, let's turn that powerful lens elsewhere and kind of work through it, so that we don't have to go through that anymore. Because now we get it as humans, we get it. That's not the deal. That's not the gig. It didn't really happen, when we were up there either. So we can let go of that lesson now. And then the thing that blows my mind, Janelle, Angus, his message is so clear. There is, I literally published 3 days ago on Amazon a journal that's got a dog on the cover. It's like a cartoon dog, and it looks just like Angus. And on top of him is anything is possible. And so his message to you is anything is possible. Let's turn that lens. Let's turn that kind of laser focus on that Pleiadian experience that you kept manifesting by accident. Let's turn that beautiful manifesting energy into a new story. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to shine your light on? Because now you've gone through the lesson, you learned it, you understood it. Now it's kind of like free time. It's like study hall for you. So what do you want to do? What do you want to play with? What do you want to study? Let's manifest that. So I just love all the information that comes through.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful. I'm really grateful.
Lovely. Well, thank you.
Angus is saying, take a nap, mommy.
That's always fun.
Yes. Thank you, Denise. Blessings.
Thank you for joining.
Great. Chantel, hello.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, great. Denise, thank you so much for your work. Oh, it's so great to hear you.
Oh.
Lots of beautiful energy. So I'm here, but I don't actually have a pet. I had 6 small pets in, I would say, a short period of time, because I had rats and I had a hamster, but they were so dear to me and to my whole family. And I think they were all important, but 3 stand out. One called Juliette. She was my rat. she was extraordinary. Like she smelled like bubble gum, and she would play with her toys and just put them, in the same corner. She's a very intelligent rat. And there was Arthur that I dreamt about just before he died. And the other one was Minnie. I still feel a lot of guilt about her death because her illness lasted for a while. I didn't know if I should, intervene or not, when to say, okay, that's it. So yeah, so those are three important ones.
I love that. The only traditional pet that I was able to have that had fur when I lived in São Paulo in that apartment were 3 lab mice that I took from the science fair that some kid did. And I brought them home, showed my mom. She goes, "Oh, they're adorable. Ask your dad if you can keep them when you get home." My dad got home, said, "No way." And so, I went to, I didn't know what to do. My sister slinked into my room and she's like, you could hide them in the closet. Nobody would know.
Oh no.
We had these sweet little mice or lab rats for, probably about 10 days before they got big enough and started coming out. But I loved them so much and had so much fun with it. So I get it, Chantal. They are amazing pets, amazing companions, so intelligent, so interesting, so dynamic, so beautiful. So a few things come up. Juliet and Arthur, beautiful, right? We got the lover archetype. We've got the righteous king archetype. We have these beautiful energies in our world. The one that really comes through is Mimi. And what she wants to says, because she feels the most unresolved, is that as I feel into her energy, she was never fully of this world. She shows a lot of this kind of infinity symbol, where she was here, then she would go explore energetically. She was here, she would go explore energetically. So that's part of her cycle. So, she wants you to know there was never any pain. There was never any experience, because she never was fully anchored into her body in a way that she had to separate from it. It was sort of like I slip in and slip out. The parallel she's using is like if a body were a shoe, her shoe was never one that you laced up. Her shoe was a flip-flop that you slip in, slip out, slip in, slip out without too much, need to it. So for her, she enjoyed it. She was an explorer. She liked to go, and the place she would go a lot, which is really beautiful, is with Mother Mary. She would go and sit on this kind of realm where Mother Mary would be there talking, just interacting and being, and she would go there and just watch and be in that energy and then come back and bring it to you. So that's what she's sharing. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I shouldn't feel so guilty after all.
It was this existence was perfect because she got to be in 2 worlds at the same time, more or less, right? She didn't have to commit to only being here on Earth. She was able to go out in, never too attached or settled in her body. So when it was time to go, it was easy. For her anyway. For you, it might be, of course, for us, it's a different story, but it was no big deal for her. Her body didn't feel like it attached her or encapsulated her completely.
Oh, thank you so much. Feels good.
Well, and it's so funny. She brings in the energy of the little prince, that energy of, being on a planet, looking out into the galaxy, coming back, having that kind of in between, the being able to flow in between.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Denise.
Beautiful.
Allie, hello.
Hello, can you see me? Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I've been wanting to talk to somebody for a while about my dog. So I have a cat and a dog, and my cat and I have a really tight bond. I love her so much. My dog, I love obviously so much too, but he's been a challenge from the very beginning. He had a lot of physical problems since he was a little baby. He had cataracts when he was like 1. He had 2 both ACLs were torn. He had like tons of ear infections, just problem after problem for years. When I moved to Hawaii about a year ago, his physical problems have pretty much subsided, which is great, but he still barks incessantly. He barks a lot at my cat. He barks at the dogs that he hears. He barks at pretty much any sound. Whenever I'm leaving to take my son somewhere, he like goes crazy. And sometimes it's really difficult. So I'm wondering if there's anything that you can say about that.
So Allie, first of all, thank you for sharing. And what a beautiful, it sounds like you have a wonderful little pack, human and furry alike. That's so beautiful. With your name, the things that jump out is you've got the 33/6, so that cosmic kind of energy within your name, and then the 95, that healer. And what really jumps out about you and your little soul pack is what they're bringing us back to is lifetimes in Lemuria and some of the dynamics going on in Lemuria, right? And especially in the masculine versus the feminine energy, because you and your cat feel very feminine, very tied to your intuition, very tapped into your intuition, very much in flow, understand each other. Oh, hey, little guy, your son in the background. Whereas when your dog came into the picture, that was kind of echoing and mirroring back some of the energy in Lemuria, where the masculine energy, the men, they didn't feel as honored for their vision and intuition as the women did. It was a little bit of that imbalance. Oh, so beautiful. So when you guys got back to Lemuria, it was that or Hawaii, which feels very Lemurian, it was that opportunity to get back into that magical energy, that higher dimensional energy where he was able to see himself for who he truly is. So the island of Hawaii kind of holds two things for him. It holds, this is who you are in your higher dimension, little pup. This is who you are. This is how you feel in the human experience. Which one do you want to choose at each time? So with him, talk to him about how masculine energy, I trust your vision. I trust your intuition. I trust your voice. I trust what you say. It's about making him feel valued and like he doesn't really have to feel like he's basically resolving what was going on in Lemuria with the masculine energy being a bit more discounted. He's asking you to bring it back. As you go to Hawaii, you're rising up that masculine energy, just as you're doing with your son. You know, it's this beautiful kind of healing do-over, if that makes sense.
Interesting. I always kind of say my dog is like he thinks he's a human and kind of wants to be a cat, but he not just like a regular human, like he acts like he's royalty. Like he is like a little prince and he like sits on his little throne and he like expects everything to just be, you know, exactly how he wants it all the time. Like even when I take him out for a walk, like I don't take him for a walk. He takes me for a walk. Like he just goes where he wants to go and I better, you know, follow him. Like that's kind of how he is all the time.
It's the overcompensation, right? It's the whole like, okay, I don't feel listened to, so I'm going to go even harder. I don't feel like my intuition is being acknowledged, so I'm going to really draw attention to my eyes. So find that it's about finding the level set, the same way the ocean, you know, there's the waves. It's like find the calm in the ocean. Bring that energy, be like, little one, you don't have to pull so hard. I got you. Little one, how can we work together? What do you need today? How can we, okay, this is what I'm picking up on. What are you picking up on? Even just enlisting is going to make him not feel like he has to overcompensate, because right now he's overcompensating for how he felt masculine energy was treated in Lemuria. So it feels like something that shifts pretty quickly once you start acknowledging what is at the root of it. Because he's not pulling because he feels incredibly deserving or in charge. He's doing it because he feels he's not valued or has control. It's a little bit of the flip side of the coin.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's anything about his name that's significant. His name's Cody.
Thank you. How'd you spell Cody?
Cody.
That's a tough one. So he has that, the D and the Y are the 47. So we have that 11 energy, right? So it's that very intuitive, very much kind of, connected with this side, but the other side as well. And then the 36, 3 is all about the stepping into your power, and 6 is the vision, and seeing situations for what they truly are, and seeing people for who they are, and seeing kind of through perceptions. And so it's interesting because whether they're human or dogs, like a lot of the Codys that we work with have similar issues, just as you're describing with your pup. It's like they don't feel seen and valued, so they're going to act bigger, more outrageous, more, they're going to dig in more than they should, not because they feel extra deserving, but because they feel they're not seen or heard or valued for who they are. And this is no reflection on you as a mother to him. That's absolutely not it. He's acting out things that are millennia old. Like this is, different dimensional stuff even. But this is the opportunity for you to show him with that seesaw. I got you, kid. You're equal. We value you. Feminine energy isn't any more important than masculine energy. We find the balance with both, because that's when true alchemy and magic happens, when we can, see all of us for who we are. That's what that's and kind of almost like transcend beyond masculine versus feminine. We're all part of the pack.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, beautiful. So much there with Lemuria, and like, I don't know if you've researched it or are interested in it.
You know what? It always, I feel like every time I do some sort of reading, it comes back to Lemuria. And like, that's what drew me to Hawaii. That's why I'm here. And I feel like so much of my life is centered around that energy. So it's really interesting that you would say that.
And recently, I got downloaded through the Pleiadians around this time last year, all about our DNA, and the Pleiadians seeding it. But part of the conversation that they brought back was something that they called the land of Mu, which was, we tend to think of as Lemuria, but what they showed is the land of Mu kind of split off. Half of it became Lemuria, half of it became Telos. Telos became the masculine Mount Shasta, kind of as below. Lemuria went kind of closer up over Mount Fuji for the as above, the unseen. And so part of what's happening as we ascend is we're bringing that back together in balance.
Yeah.
So even if you do, I love Google. Google, searches to me is a great divination tool. My Google's different than your Google. Google Lemuria, start there and see where that rabbit hole takes you, always trusting your own discernment. So if something doesn't feel right for you, move on. If something feels good, lean in and go deeper. But there's so much for you to learn about and kind of help heal that broad dynamic. I mean, that was a whole dimension, for lack of a better word, right? That's a realm. So you're taking on some big, interesting things with Cody that have echoes to, our day-to-day life and how we live life on Earth. So thank you for taking that on. I'm sure it's not easy all the time, especially when you have a little one and pets.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because Cody like definitely chose me. Like I didn't actually want a dog at all. And I wasn't really a pet person. And then I went into this pet store, because I don't know, basically I was out to dinner and my dad usually likes ice cream and he didn't want any that night. So we walked around, I wandered into a pet store and there he was. And I just fell in love with him. He just like immediately came up to me and he was just so cute and sweet.
So
and
that's how they get
I was
it.
like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I came back and got him the next day.
Oh, I love that. It was fated. It was meant to be. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. How interesting. Keep us posted.
All right.
Yeah, great to see you, Allie.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Allie.
Thank you.
All right. So Allie was our last one, but I think maybe I know Kamea is on here, and I see Christine has her hand raised. Christine will have to be our absolute last read. I don't want to overburden you here, but everybody is so excited to have you. I want to pull the chat up really quick because Kamea, I believe, You may have worked with her. She says, aloha, my two dogs, Ollie and Bo, worked with Denise, both courses, chakra as well as the astrology. What a blessing. So very gifted. Both my boys passed together. If Denise has anything to share, I would appreciate it. We got them at 7 weeks and they passed at 7 years. It's coming up 2 years now. I do often communicate and tell them they'll be back.
Beautiful. Oh, Kamaya, so lovely to hear from you and have you join us. Oh my goodness, that's always so tricky. And, you know, there's something really beautiful about them going together in this world, right? They came in together with you into this world. They transition around the same time together at that beautiful number 7. And 7 is all about having faith in moments of crisis. And when our pets aren't well, or we have to say goodbye to them, man alive is at a crisis. And that really pushes us into, can you walk the talk, right? It's easy to talk the talk, but can you walk it? And what Ollie and Bo are saying is that you do it beautifully. Not only did you hear their names beautifully, not only did you welcome them beautifully, not only did you treat them both exactly the way that they needed to be treated beautifully, like what, you know, whether it's different with both of them, but man, that 33/6 in Ollie's name is just swooping around you. And what Ollie is bringing in is going to be the Pleiadian love and a lot of Venusian energy. And that Venusian energy is about that muse. I like to think of Venusian energy as Xanadu, that movie where those women come in, which ironically, I never knew growing up, but it's here in Venice Beach. You know, they come in, they skate in with those beautiful outfits of theirs that are just flowing in the wind, and they go, phew. And so what Ollie has shown is the Pleiadians are, you know, constantly around you, but then the Venusians are coming in, bringing you inspiration, fun, kind of that dashing energy. So this for you is an incredibly creative moment. And in your creativity, you connect deeper with Ollie and Bo. So I don't know, they're showing a lot of colors. They're showing, you know, I don't know if you're an artist, you draw, you write, but it's something about colors and connecting with them and just the being in the flow of it. There's a lot of fun, a lot of creativity, a lot of new things coming through for you. So big hugs. And I love how you're still in touch with them. I'm not surprised.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Christine, let's bring you up. Okay, go ahead and unmute.
There we go. Did we get it?
Got it.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my hand raise. And I was wanting to talk to you about my dog, Maxie. And here she is. And she's a rescue. And we've had her ever since a year and a half. And no, she was a year and a half. Now she's 8. And she was abused big time. And we have just, you know, just given her so much love. And with Maxie, I leave, and I'm in Hawaii, just like all these other people. And I leave for like 2 months at a time, 3 months. I just feel so guilty. And you know, I leave her with either my husband part of the time or, you know, people that she knows. But she's always, the only time she seems happy is when she is, when she's on the golf course, when we throw the ball for her. And then she's really happy. Other than that, she walks around like she's depressed all the time. And when I'm gone, she's really depressed because she's Velcro with me. And so I was just wondering if there's anything I can talk to her about, tell her, whatever.
Absolutely. And Maxie is Maxie, is that right?
Just, no, Maxi.
Okay.
It used to be Maxine, but I changed it to Maxie because my best friend's mother was Maxine and she was not very nice.
That kind of resonates, that comes through. So a couple things going on. First, Maxie wants to start with the remedy. What she's talking about is when you are gone, when you are away, or even if at the supermarket. What
Right.
what she's helping you do is really tap in. Again, Christine, you've got that 38, so that 11 energy, that psychic connection. You've got the 99, you've got another 11 with the 29 in your name, you've got the 55. You, my dear, she's inviting you to throw your energy at her, sort of like the Care Bear stare, where, you know, their light would shine from their belly, almost like a spotlight. She's saying basically connect with her and sit next to her when you're gone, because this is teaching you about astral projection. This is about you learning to have your energy in two places at the same time, because for you, astral projection for her is the first step. And then it goes into interplanetary, other places on the earth that could use a little bit support, a little bit of help. This is kind of the beginning for you. She's the dress rehearsal. Now, the whole thing she's talking about with her head down is this is something that feels like a reflection. And it's interesting because it might be a reflection of you. It might be a reflection of your friend. But what she was talking about is this learned behavior about, or the limiting belief. If I'm too happy, if I'm too carefree, I become a target. So I can't. I need to pretend, like keep my head down, pretend, you know, nothing's going on, kind of play small so that I'm not a target. So whether you, your friend, or, you know, for sure, Maxie, it sounds like, was around an explosive energy, sort of unpredictable.
Oh, no, I think she was, because she was abused.
Right.
Big time. So that was explosive.
But that seems to have some sort of unpredictable energy is being mirrored in either you or maybe your friend's childhood as well. Like a human child had that same belief of I can't act out or be too happy or too bright because that it makes me a target. So feel into that, see if it might not track, it might track, it might feel like something more for you to watch out for as you work on astral projection. You know, you don't want to be too bright in the energy because maybe you need to be more stealth in certain situations. But bottom line is she's here to help you with astral projection. So start playing with it, throw your energy next to her, see how you can play with that and work with it. That's step one.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And will she ever be happy? Or is she happy? She's just not showing it?
I was going to say, it's interesting. So happy is a relative term. She is content. She's happy. She loves you. She loves, you know, this new experience that she gets to have. You know, she's happy. She's not in the other one. But, you know, it's sort of like as parents, sometimes we want to see that constant smile. If there isn't a smile, or if I'm not smiling, does that mean I'm not happy? No, of course not, right? She's kind of got the equivalent of what humans call a resting bitch face. Although she's not like that. She always looks a little like down. You know, she's like, this is who I am. And then when I smile, it's different, but I'm not sad. It's just, that's my face.
Okay. Okay, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing, and have fun playing with that astral projection. My goodness.
Okay.
Very cool.
Denise, how fun. This has been so fun. Everyone, the comments have been wonderful. I think we could have probably stayed here all night. We've already got people sending in suggestions for you to do a show on Can, for you to come back. Yeah, everybody just loves it. So thank you so much for being here. Everyone also is interested. How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my website, Pet Prana, P-E-T, and then prana, like the energy connecting everything in the universe, P-R-A-N-A, so petprana.com. And then my Instagram's the same. I just kind of kicked off TikTok as well. Everything's at Pet Prana.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And if you weren't here live, you can get a hold of Denise and her website, Pet Prana, and I am sure she would be happy to schedule a reading with you. Could you describe the classes that you offer?
Yeah, so, it's beautiful the way that the animal companions have connected with me. It started off with let's take an energetic, look at being a pet parent. So, one of my signature courses is called Healing with Chakras, and it basically walks you through that process that the Pleiadians downloaded, where we match up the human chakras, the pet behaviors, and the themes that they're having us work through. And that course, it also offers traditional dog training, step-by-step how-to videos as a complement, because whenever we're shifting behaviors, it's important to work in the physical, but also the energetic. But I've had many pet parents who either have cats or birds, or maybe don't have pets at all, but they just found it really helpful because it walks you through the chakras, understanding motivations, and about relationships more generally in our lives. So Healing with Chakras is a signature course, very popular. And then we have Pets as Portals, where we use animal companions, both here or past, or even animals in the wild, to help be access points, transport us to different realms. So we explore the earth realm, the water realm, the sky realm, the star realm, all with pets, all with the intention of kind of sampling different energies and learning more about ourselves, and leaving behind what we don't need and bringing along those energetic souvenirs. After that, they kind of built on it, and we have pets as shapeshifters. So they help us learn how to shapeshift, whether situationally or tapping into their energy. And we do a lot of journeys together in Pets as Portals and shapeshifting with pets. And then one of the most recent ones that came through was Primordial Selves, the Pleiadians, and our pets. And this goes into detail about how the Pleiadians seeded our 8 primordial cells, which we have 8 primordial cells, our animal companions have the same, and those inform everything, our biology, our emotional experiences. And what they kind of revealed is that within these 8 primordial cells, 4 informing our earthly experiences and 4 are multidimensional as a hook. So we can start kind of tapping more into our galactic multidimensional presence. And in that one, it's so cool. They use this technology where they link our pets' behaviors to our chakras to the 7 Pleiadian stars. And we get to go deep and work with the mythology of each star. Who's Electra, who's Seleno, who's Taygeta, and why is it important? How can they help us in our earthly experience? And for all of us galactic here, not to nerd out, but I love the story of the Pleiadian sisters. They're basically human sisters who were being chased, and through divine intergalactic intervention, they became stars, and now they live this multidimensional life. What a beautiful parallel to where we are and where we're going, right? So those are a few of the courses. And if you guys ever have any questions, reach out, but I'd love to connect with you, whether via the website or on social media. Each of you have been so beautiful in this conversation. I love being with like-minded soul pack. This is what it's all about.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And if you had a reading tonight and you didn't get the opportunity to take notes, you'll be able to watch the replay on YouTube. So you can visit the YouTube Conscious Awakening Network, and we'll be right there. So Denise, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to thank each of you for being here tonight. And I want to thank Susie for being here tonight, because she has a special song just for the pet lovers tonight. So Susie.
Well, actually, I couldn't decide, so I've got parts of 3 little short songs. We call it a medley. Part of it's by Joseph Brooks, part of it's by Kenny Loggins, and part of it's by me. You'll be able to figure out which one's from me. Chibaka, Chibaka, you're my very special friend. Chibaka, Chibaka, there will never be an end. You light up my life, and you have given me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill all my nights, all with a song lit up by the moon. We're posing our questions to Owl and Eeyore as our days disappeared all too soon. But I've wandered much farther today than I should, and I can't find my way back to the wood. Winnie the Pooh doesn't know what to do. He's got a honey jar stuck on his nose. He came to me asking help and advice, and from here no one knows where he goes. So I sent him to ask of the owl if he's there, how to loosen the jar from the nose of the bear. So help me if you can, I got to get back to the house at Good Corner, my one. You'd be surprised, there's so much to be done. Oh, count all the bees in the hive. Oh, chase all the clouds from the sky. We're back to the days of Christopher Robin. Back to the ways of Christopher Robin. Back to the days of Pooh.
Oh, thank you, Susie.
Oh,
What a
my
wonderful
pleasure.
way to end. So lighthearted. We love you. Love everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. And Monday night, join us. We have Ishmael Perez coming back. He had to cut it short week before last, and so we asked if he could come back and share with us again. So we will have him, and then next week we have Karen Swain, and Karen has she stepped in for me several times. She has her own show, and we all love to have Karen join us. So I hope you'll be back with us. And until then, namaste and have a blessed week. Much love, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.
We love you.